Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Spiker Christensen. So you want me to treat him like white folk? No, that's not what I said.
Not what I said.
You know, who's that woodpecker boy over down there? Oh, you know Joey, don't you, sugar? Yes, Big Daddy. Yeah, well, you just treat him like Joey then. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Warden
guys.
Tuggs, he's back.
Dude, he's back, dude, for freaking Brawl and best Warden ever. Anyway, and he was also in Knives Out. I always forget that he was in that. So
he was great in Knives Out.
He's. I want to see him in more things. Okay, so we've got Jordan Christensen on the pod.
The Django! The D side of the hillbilly.
And we've got Cameron Mickle on the pod.
I like the way you die, boy.
The way you die, boy. So good, dude. I just want to make the sound of the little pop-out pistol. It's just like a little water pistol.
Ty, the other quote from Warden Tuggs that I love is he's like, "You and your fancy pants nugget."
Well, come and get yourself something to drink. I love him, dude. He's so funny, dude. All right. Today, we're discussing Django Unchained. This movie came out in 2012. Wow, what a year, man. 2012. The world was supposed to be ending. We had movies like this in the theater. My goodness. This was written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, independent filmmaker and with stars Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kerry Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Walton Goggins.
Is there feet in this movie?
And this one?
I didn't see the foot scene that you see in every Quentin movie.
She is in the hot box, and she has her feet bare.
Yeah, when they're like strolling her on the thing, I think there's a shot from her feet.
Oh.
Yeah, not as glorified as, like, I don't know, say From Dusk Till Dawn, Cameron.
Or
if you watch
Death
that movie,
Proof,
you'll understand
where
the whole
he sucks on a girl's toe.
Well, yeah, Death Proof too.
Oh, Death Proof, yeah, he licks her toe.
Death Proof's so creepy. Jordan, that's my favorite movie.
Pretty apparent.
My favorite Quentin movie.
So, man, where to go about this movie? Holy cow, guys! Django Unchained.
A very non-controversial movie.
Ty, I'm surprised you didn't yell, "Where is my sister?
Where's my beautiful sister?" There's so many quotes I wanted to do from DiCaprio.
Because you do that all the time.
Oh, I do. I think, okay, we'll get into
Sold to the man with the exceptional beard and his unexceptional nugget.
Oh my gosh, guys, we're talking about this movie finally. Tarantino.
Notice you didn't say anything about kneecapping.
Oh my gosh, dude, I have so many funny quotes from this movie.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm getting into quotes already.
No, it's
say
great,
bye,
dude.
Miss Hilda. You want me to say bye? Say bye. Say bye.
Cora, before you go, can you tell Miss Laura goodbye? What? Tell Miss Laura goodbye. Bye, Miss Laura.
She gets
flying into the
pulled by a freaking rope.
My favorite, though, is Samuel L. Jackson, all of his quotes.
Yes.
In the big house? You're going to have to sleep in the big house? I don't know why he was my favorite, dude. When he comes out, he's like, I missed you like a hog, Mrs. Slop. I missed you like a baby, Mrs. Mama.
He's so annoying.
Dude, at the very end, when he's like, Django, you ain't getting away with this, Django. They're going to catch your black. I freaking love Samuel Jackson, dude.
Oh, sweet baby biscuits, let me kill this nugget.
Give me the strength to kill this man. So good, dude. Dude, yeah, he was great.
Okay, when he says...
Oh, Calvin! It's like tongue coming out. Calvin!
And Ty, when he says... That's right. Calvin! When he says, you son of a... And it cuts... So that joke, they did that in The Avengers when he's like, son of a, and it cuts away from Green Arrow or whatever his name is.
Oh, really?
And so, well, anyways, but I guess and here in Utah, like I watched it here, and everybody was laughing hysterically. Like, I wonder if they're just starved for humor or something because, like, don't you feel like everything is just so much funnier according to, like, members of the church? I don't know. I just like
there is like a sense of like he's saying a naughty word. But that's different. Like I almost feel like I love cursing when it's used humorously, and this is one of those instances where Django's finally getting revenge. This is the final ending, and it's like the second movie ending. This movie's long.
Yes,
it's like the second or third ending.
I always forget that certain scenes exist. I'm like, I forgot that he fetching give himself up. I'm like, oh, he's about to fake give himself up, and I'm like, oh, he actually surrenders. What the fudge?
Yep. There's all of that. And so watching the ending, it's so satisfying. But yes, it's so gratifying. So whatever he's saying, it just adds like, Like that's why I love they're
Well,
gonna catch
but
him.
I went and saw a play, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and
No way.
the girl, she's like, they changed up some of the parts, but she's like, oh, the Shih Tzu and the other character, because you know the two guys, the eggs and bacon, you know, those two characters. So
X.
So one of those characters says, because they actually have a more prominent role in the play, in the musical, and she says to the other character, oh, that Shih Tzu over there, and then the other character's like, yes, and don't call me Sue. And Ty, the crowd, like, I don't, like I said, something's wrong with these crowds, because they were like laughing so hard, like, and they were like
Samuel Jackson to every single one of Leonardo DiCaprio's jokes. Oh,
yes, that is totally what I thought of, Cameron, when he laughs so hard at Candy's jokes. Like, that's how I felt in the play. I'm like,
Dude,
okay.
Samuel
like,
Jackson is a revelation in this movie.
He's
one of the best. He's doing so much in this movie.
I know. I'm just like,
it's like every brown noser
they're
ever.
practically on the floor laughing and just like spinning their heads.
Just love it. He's just like, what does he say? He's like, are you coming with me or are you going to sleep in that box there? The box over there. And then you see him freaking put his hand on his gun. He's ready to freaking murder everyone there, dude. Oh my gosh. Guys, this movie, let's get into it. What was it like watching in this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast? So I'll start. This movie came out when I was on my mission, and I remember hearing that Quentin Tarantino was coming up with another film coming off of Inglourious. I could not wait. I had watched Inglourious before my mission, and I remember thinking when I was in college, I was like, this is such an amazing film. I cannot wait to see more work from this guy. And then I go out on my mission, and there were Chileans that were like, oh, there's this new escaped slave that goes and murders all the slave owners that he had. And I'm like, oh, it sounds kind of exciting. Like Tarantino, dude, getting some freaking revenge on
the Django.
The Django. I don't remember what they called it. But yeah, they explained it like, oh, it's when I had like a film buff that was there in Chile in my ward that I was in. And he was like, oh yeah, Quentin Tarantino, he's a great filmmaker. He made a new film. And I was like, I just saw it, really liked it. And he goes, it's pretty violent. I was like, well, have you seen Inglourious? And he hadn't at the time. I'm like, it's almost as violent. I would imagine. I hadn't seen Django at the time. So I finally came home from our mission. It was one of the first movies I wanted to ease into. And Jordan, we watched it together my first time. So when we finally watched it, you're like, I had saved it. And you were like, I edited it for you or whatever. And I think what you ended up doing was you took out a scene where a guy gets his shot off with a revolver. And
well, I showed you. And I'm like, is this too violent? And you're like...
Yeah, you showed me the scene anyway. It's like, I'm editing it for you right now. I want you to have a clean version of the movie. And it's literally that.
Out.
And I think that was it. And maybe like Cora in the
Well, I took out some of the
box.
F words and then when she was in the box.
And maybe the F words, yeah.
Oh, well,
and
I took out...
And the dingo fighting.
The dingo fighting. Because that is just so gross. I have to skip over it. It's just...
Yeah, it's very brutal. And like even the dog tearing that guy apart.
Yes, I
don't
have
think
to
you
skip
see
over
it
that
as much,
too.
But yeah, those
You do his
brutalizing
flashbacks.
I don't remember his flashbacks being horrific. They were sad, like his wife.
No. I'm talking about what's his name?
Christoph Waltz, like
Christoph
thinking about
Waltz,
it.
Yeah, when he's losing his mind, decide that
When
he's
they're
about to
playing
end
the harp.
what's his name's life? Yeah, stop playing Beethoven.
I'm just thinking about what Dumas would say about what you did.
Oh,
What
you
did to
think
that
he
fella?
would disapprove?
Oh, the French don't have our sensibilities, Mr. Dumas.
No, he said soft-hearted Frenchie.
A soft-hearted Frenchie. Mr. Dumas was black. Dude, I gotta say, this is Christoph Waltz's character he was born to play. Right after his performance in Inglourious was like a revelation. And then he proved he's not a one-note actor and he can actually be like a really well-rounded hero.
Which is why I was devastated in 007 when they didn't write him a good character.
Yeah,
what
it's like
the
he
fuck?
literally played like the most villainous person to like one of the most heroic, tragic characters that just due to moral code that he has, he can't.
I don't know why
portray
Quentin's
himself.
not using him in every single one of his films.
Yeah, see,
Well,
that's the
he
thing.
was going to use mind you, he was going to use him in Hateful Eight. There's a character that Tim Roth plays that's clearly that was made for Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
He was definitely what's his face, Tim Roth's character. And again, Tim Roth is a great actor and he did the best he could, but there's definitely like
I think Tim Roth should have done Channing Tatum's part. I'm sorry. I
he
couldn't
would have
get
been.
into Channing Tatum.
I think you should have taken out Channing Tatum, put Tim Roth in that part, and then allowed Christoph Waltz in that part.
And that's the thing.
It would have been.
That's what's so sad about
how I
that
would have
too,
done it,
is
cast it.
because I was like Christoph Waltz is one guy away from being in my top probably 15 actors of all time. Like, because he has two of the greatest performances I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for one more.
And then, what's his third best? Like Bludnovsky from freaking
Green Hornet. You fucking
Green
kidding
Hornet?
me? Yeah.
I want them dead tonight.
It's should.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure he has other foreign films because he's actually a foreign
Yeah,
actor,
he's from
Austrian,
German.
right? But yeah,
A German? Is he German or
Yeah.
Australian?
I believe he's
I know.
Austrian.
I know his native language is German, but he might. I know they speak German in Austria.
Yeah, I think it's Austrian actor. I think that's at least, I don't know where he's lived or anything much about him. I just remember him being announced as like an Austrian actor. So, but yeah, played an incredible villainous SS general in Inglourious in this movie. So let's get so rewatching it though. Love watching this movie again. Like this movie holds up. This movie's so awesome. Like.
Yeah, you could say that again.
Just piss off anyone that's like, oh, I can't find relatability to someone that doesn't have my skin tone. My 3 favorite action stars are J.D. Washington from Tenet, Will Smith from I, Robot, and like I Am Legend. And this movie, Django, Jamie Foxx. They're my 3 favorite action stars. And can't forget Equalizer. You can't forget freaking Denzel Washington, Man on Fire. Like, all my action stars are black. Like, they're my favorite. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing, like, oh, like, I can't find relatability because they're not my skin. I heard this argument made.
I have
like,
never heard that argument.
I've never heard of that either.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe
I don't know where you hear these weird things. Like,
I heard it. Well, I know where it was. I'm sorry. It was from when the Black Panther movie came out. They're like, isn't it great that we have someone that we can look up to? I'm like, dude, like Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Jamie Foxx. Do you not know these actors like I do? I'm like, there was way more before Black Panther came out. Is all I'm saying. Like,
well, but I did hear an opinion, and that was from. I showed this to thinking he would like it because he loves westerns, loves True Grit.
Oh,
he
westerns.
watches all these other films that like. I'm like, oh, this is perfect for him.
This is a Western dream.
Yeah, exactly. It's a spaghetti western, very fun, and it's got a lot of characters, and he loves movies with characters over the top.
Perfect revenge.
But then he watched it, and he was like, I feel like it's a young kid making a movie that he's like, just threw all his favorite stuff in it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like everything you love, and I don't know why
it's
he
okay,
missed
dude.
it.
Didn't understand it. Sorry.
Whenever remember his head, that monkey.
Don't worry. We won't talk about that on the pod. We all love this movie, so we're all gonna just confirm our notions and
Maybe one
retreat
of his,
further
maybe
into
one
our
of his
echo
100,000
chambers.
followers on Instagram could help him understand it.
Exactly. Give him a long-winded and worded essay about why he's wrong for his.
Oh, I was
opinion.
mistaken. It was 10,000, Cameron.
That's right.
Oh, sorry.
So
What
I
did
love
she say?
rewatching it. This
From
movie's so
Scott
awesome.
Pilgrim, 7X Evil X's. Oh, that's not that many.
No, it's not that
Oh,
bad.
so that was.
You have to fight, defeat 7 evil X's. So I love this movie on rewatch. It's so rewatchable. Each scene, I'm like, oh, I don't remember this, or I forgot this little thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this scene's coming up. Oh, this scene's coming up. Tarantino is like a master suspense builder. He's just so entertaining and so engaging. I'm just watching, and I'm like, I've seen a lot of these motifs before in westerns. I watch a lot of westerns, and it's one of my favorite movie genres of all time, which is weird because I think in my top 10 I didn't have any westerns. That's because they're all in the top 20, folks. But I love this movie and Tarantino's
Where does this rank
style.
in Western style? Is this one your favorite, or?
Top 3, hands down, by
And
far.
then
top 3
what's
westerns.
the second one? Butch Cassidy?
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, and then it's either between True Grit and
True Grit.
No Country for Old Men.
And you're talking
which
about
is
the Coen brothers version, right?
Yes. Well, actually, that's tough because I do love the original, but yes, I actually think Jeff Bridges brings something new that John Wayne didn't have for some reason. I think he's just a little more interesting, Mr. Cog. His portrayal of Cogburn was really interesting. Anyway, I could go on about
I can never
westerns all
understand
day.
anything he's saying, but I love that you love him.
I know. I hardly can.
It's like that fetching one slave owner in this movie when he's like, "I'm here, everybody pick the man like this." I was like, what did he just say?
Oh man, that's great. So yeah, love rewatching this movie, and it's so exciting. Each scene draws you in, so I'm so excited that we're talking about it here. Jordan, how about you? First time you watched this movie and rewatching it for the pod.
So I don't know why at the time I hadn't been following Quentin's movies, because when I rented it from Redbox, I didn't no idea what I was in for. And I had seen Inglourious in the theater, but this one I was so bummed I didn't see this in the theater, because when I rented it from Redbox, I was watching it on my computer screen, which is even more depressing that I didn't see it on a big screen. And but after watching at the very end, like, I just remember the whole scene when he, has a little handgun, it comes out, and he shoots Candy. Like, everything from that moment on, I went back and rewatched it like a billion times because I was like, I could not believe what I was watching. I was like, this is like my favorite movie ever. And I just thought it was the greatest thing of all time. And I went back and re-edited it, hoping that everybody would see it. But then when I got to that violent scene, everybody else like looked at me like, and I even had some people up in church saying, somebody tried to show me a rated R movie and I turned it down. I walked out of the room and I'm like, I was that somebody he's talking about. I was the one showing up that movie.
Wear it like a badge of honor, Jordan. Nice work.
I know.
Job.
I love.
Like, I failed to corrupt one. Oh, he got away.
And I think Cameron mentioned earlier on the other pod that he was a bit reluctant to watch it. And I was too. I was like, I just watched it last year. I watched it twice. And unfortunately, the second time I watched it, because I watched it 2 days in a row because I just loved it so much. The second time I watched it with a girl I was on a date with, and it was only like the second date.
Oh, boy.
And I forgot. So the version I'd watched, like, you couldn't see Jamie Foxx's, yeah. But this version that I watched, you could actually see it. And so I was like, oh, shoot. And I didn't even skip it. I just sat there with her, like, super uncomfortable. And we just watched the whole thing.
Just stared at Jamie Foxx.
Just watch his man.
And so I just, like, got obviously really uncomfortable. And so watching it for this podcast, I'm like, oh, maybe it wasn't as good. And then I rewatched it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I forgot how amazing this movie is.
Yeah.
And I'm like so glad I didn't watch it with a girl I had never seen it before with, you know?
Great. Cameron, how about you watching it for the first time and rewatching it for the pod?
Yeah, it's definitely not top 10 date movies, Jordan, but you know, you do you.
And the night, Cameron, the night before we watched The Thing, so.
To be fair, I took a girl to see True Grit, so again, wasn't. This is actually now my wife. Me and Maddie saw it, and she was like bored in the theater, and I'm like, she's like, why don't we snuggle? I'm like, no, babe, I've been watching this movie. Like, this is way too good. We can kiss after the movie, not while we're watching.
That
this.
was like,
this is too good.
That was me and my girlfriend. She was like, she left because of the language in Good Will Hunting, and I was like, you don't understand it.
Like, come back.
But anyway, so watching this for the first, so it's funny because Jordan, the fact that he loved that scene so much, because I remember I was 14 and Jordan's like, I need to show you this scene. And he just fucking showed me that scene of him shooting Leonardo Dicaprio in the heart, and then Calvin, and then just fucking blown away, and then just that shooting scene, and I just remember crying. For a solid couple minutes when the one guy keeps getting shot in the leg and he's just, it's just so excessive.
It's just exploding everywhere.
Yeah, then the blood just keeps splattering everywhere, and I was just like
pouring out of it, dude.
What am I watching?
It's like Monty Python level blood. It's just like
nearly
shooting
up
out.
absurd. Yeah, but yeah.
Well, I was sending you guys screenshots because every screenshot during those violent scenes is amazing. It's like Kill Bill, you know. I so good.
Yeah.
Before it goes black and white.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but yeah, so that's what, and so I had just watched scenes, so I thought I watched the whole movie, but apparently I don't think I did until last year. I watched it for the first time all the way through, and this movie's kind of like The Dark Knight, where it's just one of those movies where it's like, you watch it and you're like, holy crap, I cannot believe, like, I forgot that this scene exists, I forgot, like, this arc exists, this plot exists. I'm like, what the fudge? Like, I just totally forgot that, like, he found that the three brothers, like, immediately with Jamie Foxx on the rewatch. I was just like, oh wow, he totally finished like that first plot so quick. I was like, there's no build up or anything, and that's what led to like the everything else. What were you about to say, Jordan?
Well, I was going to say, Ty, talking about rewatching it, Ty, did you notice now that you've seen the TV show Dexter, did you notice his dad played two parts in this movie?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He plays the guy at the beginning. He's like, stop your fancy talk. And,
stop the fancy talk.
And he gets shot. And then he's also the guy with the mustache.
Mr.
And
Pooch.
He's wearing a hat. And he's like,
Mr. Pooch.
He's like,
at the
even
end,
I know you
sawed-off,
can't wear a hat inside.
Oh, was that the No, it wasn't the Django. Yeah, but he was Mr. Pooch at the end, right?
Pooch?
The guy with that blue...
The barreled sawed-off shotgun, or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay. Just making sure I had the same guy. Yeah, that is funny. I didn't even realize that was him, dude. That's tripping me out now. I'm like, like,
yeah.
I thought he looked familiar, but yeah, it's just like one of those faces. I guess I didn't recognize him.
But
James Remmer.
So watching it for the first time was super, like, all the way through was so fun. Watching it with my roommates back at Idaho, and it was just such a blast. We were all just dying laughing, and we were all just cheering as I felt like the Inglourious scene where he's like blowing away. The Germans are watching the German soldier in the towers just blow him away. I was just like, that's how we were. We were just like, yeah, let's murder those slave owners. Like, suck it.
Yeah, dude, it's so awesome, man. It's just like revenge, dude. Take it out, man.
Rewatching it, yeah, it was just another one of those moments where I'm just like, I totally forgot. Because he was in that final fight scene. I looked and it had 44 minutes of runtime left. I was like, what the fudge? I'm like, what's left in this movie? I'm like, what's left in this movie? I didn't know that there's still more, but yeah. But just like you guys said, just like Kevin Jordan mentioned, it wasn't super excited to rewatch it, and it's just it gets better every single time. I just want to show it to more and more people.
For sure. Yeah, I think it's underappreciated.
Yeah, but Cameron, don't be surprised when they get up in church and say, I was shown a terrible movie, and I walked out because I'm a strong member.
Yeah,
that's so great, dude.
People will test your faith. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm that person, I guess.
Tester. I'm building other people's testimonies. You're welcome. I'm strengthening testimonies left and right.
I'm sifting the wheat to the chaff, right?
Yeah.
You're figuring out.
I'm doing God's work for
him. Did you even
him.
really have a testimony?
Yeah.
I love it, dude. Let's get into two of our favorite things from this movie.
Did we not? Did I not go? Oh, I did. No, sorry.
Yeah, where did you first start?
Do I not get to go?
Dude, I like to say something. Cameron, why don't you say your two favorite things from this movie?
Okay, I mean, I'm sure we're all gonna mention it, but just the violence. It's so over the top, but because Quentin does such a good job, just like in Glorious, of creating such deplorable characters and like almost dehumanizing them to where the point where you feel that anything is just to be done to them. You're like, oh, he deserves to be shot in the, and I'm like, what am I saying? but at the same time, in the moment, you're like, yes, F you, because. And just of the way they treat him, and just Leonardo DiCaprio, which is kind of goes one of my nitpicks. I think he should have died more horrific death, but
Dude, that silly smirk being wiped off his face, though. I'm sorry,
nice.
Dude. I insist. Like, just to the very end, and then completely surprised. Like, he's a total idiot. But he had no idea that this was coming, and you're like, we all knew it was coming.
Like, the violence, I forget it every time until that first scene when fetching Christoph Waltz shoots the guy in the head and that horse, and I'm just seeing brain just splatter everywhere. And I'm just like, I forget how much fetching violence this movie has. It's so wild, but it's so satisfying in the fight scenes when he's just killing and just these people who just like are such deplorable people, just like dehumanizing these black people and just treating them like actual garbage. It's so satisfying watching them die. Not that I'm saying that it's okay to kill racist people, but
it's okay, Cameron. It's okay to say that now too.
But then my second favorite thing is I just think he just does such a good job, I feel like, of creating this world where no one is truly a hero. And it just kind of goes along. I watched Jared's video who he talked about this a little bit, and I thought it was really cool. He just talks about how like it just feels like a very real world, because like there is no true hero. Like even Christoph Waltz, it's like he's a bounty hunter. He murders people for money. Like he's not exactly like you're saying.
For money.
I could kill you for money. And so it's one of those things where I just feel like it makes it very real, to where it's like, because like the only reason that we cheer for him is because he's juxtaposed against the villains. And so we see, oh, well, he's not as evil as them. Like, yeah, he kills people, but he kills bad people. They torture, like, just regular people. And so I just think it's such an interesting idea of just, like, a lot of people, just even Samuel L. Jackson, it's like, is he really that bad? Because he used to be my least favorite character. Like, I hated him so much, and I thought he was worse than Leonardo DiCaprio. But I'm like, but at the same time, he's just playing with the cards he's dealt. Like, he knows that in order to, like, get the position of most power.
Game the system, dude. Yeah, yep. He lives a pretty comfortable life. He's the one pulling the strings. The safest and
best life he can be is to be terrible just to all the other people. Like, but see, I think that's so deplorable, but then Django does the exact same thing to find his wife, and then I'm like, oh, but that's okay because he's doing it as an act. And it's like, you think Samuel L. Jackson actually believes that all the other black people are stupid? It's like, absolutely not. He's doing it as an act too, so he can sit there.
Even when he drops his cane, I was like, oh, snap.
I know.
Yeah, dude. He pretended to be a feeble old hobbling man. He didn't even need the cane, dude.
Yeah,
he's like,
he did not. He wants zero
master
chance
class
of him
villain,
having to
dude.
go out in the work, like in the field.
Yep, exactly. Avoided the work, but managed to be the, I'll run the business. And he even manipulated Calvin many, many times, which I loved. And he was the only
and
one
it was
that caught
him
on.
that pointed out the whole
The
deal.
The mother aren't here to buy no
Yes.
bingo.
Horrible,
Looking
dude.
for that girl.
Yeah.
Like, he could have
So
just
good,
let them go. Like, that is so disgusting.
No, absolutely not. So good. I love your observations, Cam. Jordan, how about two of your favorite things?
Dang it, Cameron took my violence. I never get tired of
So good.
blood squibs. Okay, so
Blood
I
squibs.
guess that I can add to that is I would way rather see blood, like fake blood packets shooting out of their chests than CGI blood. I just love practical effect blood, and I love.
Like that fetching snipe shot when he gets shot from the side and just bursts out in front of his chest.
Yes, like I know, I love that stuff because I was listening to I can't remember. It's David Fincher said the reason he doesn't use fake squibs is because he takes like 80 takes, and so it's like he can't do that because then they'll have to clean up the whole place. So that's why he does CGI blood, and I'm like, what a shame because the fake blood is so much more fun.
Well, and it's more tangible too because again, the actors are reacting to it because it explodes and it's not pretty. Sometimes those blood squibs get like in their eyes and stuff, and it just feels so much more real and authentic when they react. When the blood spatters, they know like the camera's rolling and it's supposed to go off in this moment. But the blood like squirts up, it gets in their face. Sometimes it shoots out for them. I love it because it's more authentic and real.
You
Like
just feel
if you
comfortable
pretend to
enough
be
to rub
shot, it's
your
very different than
actual
actually
blood.
having an explosive blood squib on your chest that goes off. Like
Well, and Ty,
real
you've
genuine
made
surprise.
movies with me. Like I love just using lots of fake
yeah.
blood. Oh, and Cameron too. I was dousing
burning
you guys in blood.
Hershey syrup and Hawaiian punch all over the
Or
place. Like a
Gatorade right in
concoction
your
of both.
nostrils and eyes.
Yes. Kevin, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear your sad stories, dude. Like I'm freaking climbing up a stair and I fell through some stairs dude, until he broke my leg.
Oh yeah, you twisted your ankle really bad too.
Okay, but going along with the blood
stairs
part,
smell
Jordan,
from
and then it's okay though for Leonardo DiCaprio to wipe his actual blood on his co-star, the black girl. I'm like,
Yeah, that was the
oh,
biggest crime of all,
no.
getting her his AIDS. That was
Yeah,
really
that's where I would
think you
draw the
should have
line.
done
I
that.
would say, cut. Get the F away from me, bro. You can't wipe your real blood on my face. What do you think this is? This is a job.
Put your hands on that tabletop, the turtle shell tabletop. If you don't put your hands on the turtle shell tabletop, Mr. Pooch is going to pull you both the way on that sawed off. There've been a lot of lies said around this dinner table here tonight, but that you can believe. Dude, I love this movie. I love this movie. So
Dude,
my favorite
Leo
thing-
should have
after
been.
he-
Was he nominated at least?
Yes, he was nominated,
good.
but again,
Oh,
it was
geez.
stolen from him. And again for Wolf of Wall Street, and still
I know
lost. to
those
both
are
of those
his
movies.
two best performances
Crazy.
easily.
So
Yeah.
my favorite thing is Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in this. It's one of my favorite things because I think he's like a really yelly actor, and sometimes I think he gets a bad rap because I think he does a good job. But he's like Brad Pitt in the sense that he's so famous you can't not see Leonardo DiCaprio. But in this movie, I think he does a pretty good job at being so reprehensible, and he's having a good time. Like Tarantino and DiCaprio, they had that good discussion where they're like, "You're going to be so morally reprehensible," and he's just like, I want rotted, decayed teeth. I want a long cigarette. I want to be as deplorable as possible. And I think he really went for it. He's chewing the scenery. He's doing a great time. He's having a great time. He's villainous. He's despicable. He's crass. I love it.
Anytime your
He's just
performance is so good that
reprehensible.
you become a meme, you know you did a good job.
Yes.
That holding that laughing while holding the wine at the table. Yeah. Just like the one you sent to us, Ty, of like me telling my kids not to eat their Halloween candy so I can eat it while they're at school or something.
Exactly. And then he's like fat.
Yeah, it's like chubby Leo.
Wait, I got my second one. Can I do it real
What's
quick?
your second one?
Okay, so I love Quentin's style. Like, I know we'll probably mention every one of his movies because it's like coming out of his ears how much style he has in his movies. But like this one in particular, because he's a master, because he grew up watching so many Westerns, like I just feel like this is the genre that is perfect for him to make. Because like if you watch all his other movies, you can see he's got those quick pans and just a lot of like spaghetti Western things. But this one in particular, like I love the feeling that like I love modern day movies that look like older films. Like this one has the feeling of a like both modern, but it's also very, very, very stylized, and you just feel like you're in the world of Westerns. Like you feel like you've gone back in time, but he's still making it modern with all the with his tone, and I just love this movie so much.
It's great. And so I would say my second favorite thing would be, I think it's really impressive that Tarantino has been able to do subject matter like this, which is interesting because every single one of his films, there's like some controversy, and I always laugh because it's always just done in the worst taste possible. Like, one of the most famously was when he did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. A reporter famously asked him, like, well, Margot Robbie has fewer lines than co-stars Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. What do you have to say for yourself? And he's just like, I reject your hypothesis.
And I think he said, I refuse your question.
Because the idea was, like, are you a sexist man because your movie has more lines for male characters than female characters, which is really silly because it's like, have you seen his previous work? There's two movies called Kill Bill. There's a movie called Jackie Brown. He was empowering
Well, Ty, and did you hear about, so in Hateful Eight, he had an original script, and then when it leaked, he cut it all out and changed it. And he gave more of a character to the girl, like he gave her all this backstory. The main girl, the crazy psycho girl, he wrote an entire part for her. And you get to see more of her and give her more of a... And then he had to cut it all because somebody leaked it. And it's just like, that's such a bummer that people have to go and spoil things. Because he's very, like, old school. Like, I don't like anybody knowing about anything until the day it's out.
Right. For sure. And I'm just really impressed. I feel like he's somehow navigated being an independent filmmaker. He's like, these are the movies I want to make. And I think
he's also said he thinks, he doesn't think he can make movies. I mean, the way the world's going, like, I think he's thinking, he's getting out at the right time,
He's got one more film under his belt, according to his word.
A really good job of navigating the hard side of, like talking about slavery and, like, making it comedic and yet not disrespectful, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that was one interesting thing because the violence toward the African-American
was much more brutal,
much more brutal and harsh. And then toward the white people, it was a little more cartoonish and gratuitous.
But, and a lot of the
not gratuitous, because it was definitely more gratuitous with the poor slave that was torn apart by the dogs, and the Mandingo fighting was so brutal.
Yeah, and somebody else pointed out the fact that a lot of the black characters are actually much more intelligent than a lot of the white characters.
Oh, yeah.
Jared points that out in his video. He talks about how they speak better, like, and how that's how a lot of things people would say, like, that was a justification.
The whole scene with the Ku Klux Klan was so laughable. Like,
I always forget Jonah Hill
showing up.
In here.
The funniest scene. Just we're
not pointing any fingers.
Did anyone bring an extra bag? Nobody brought an extra bag.
Ty, have you watched James Franco getting roasted? His special? Did you watch that?
No,
okay, well, so Jonah Hill was there, and the guy is roasting him, and he's like, when you got the script, when Quentin Tarantino said he sent you a script, he said, I'm making a movie, and he's like, stop right there. You had me at spaghetti.
Spaghetti Western. You're making a spaghetti Western. Stop. You had me at spaghetti. That's terrible, dude. Bad joke. I love it. Yeah, dude, that poor guy's gaining weight, losing weight. He's more entertaining when he's fat. I'm sorry. I love you, Jonah Hill.
I know, and
don't
Maniac,
do it for the sake of
he
your
looks
health.
like ill.
Yeah. Well,
it's so sad. I saw an interview with him.
I like how you say ill. Ill.
So someone made like an actual comment of just like saying of how he wasn't good looking or something like that, or made a comment about just how he was fat, and like, Jonah Hill was just like, like so sad. He was just like,
poor guy.
If you want to see him, and
so like, hey, people think you're funnier when you're fat. Could you just remain fat?
Ty, you want to see a funny interview? Ty, see his interview on Superbad.
Yes.
Somebody's like,
famously, yes.
So how does it feel you peaked?
How does it feel that you peaked? I love that interview, and I heard it was
you.
Yeah, that one was documented. I found out it was scripted.
It was scripted.
Though. It was.
Oh, okay.
But I love it because again,
so
it goes
funny.
to the aesthetic of it really fits his character in the movie where he'd be like, "F you, dude!" Like again. Where does fat Jonah Hill land a girlfriend like Emma Stone in high school? It never happens. Not
they don't. Did you watch?
I still reject your hypothesis. Like, somehow she flirts with him enough. Where it's like,
because she's using him. She uses him to get alcohol. Like, that's the whole reason she does it.
I love you to death, Jordan. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. Have you even seen the movie? Then don't talk about it.
Have I seen the movie? Yes. As someone that's watched more Jonah Hill films than you have, Jordan.
That's not true. I've seen way more.
No, you didn't finish Maniac. You didn't finish Maniac, so there you go.
Okay,
I did
monkeys.
finish it. Oh, really?
So I love the Ku Klux Klan in this movie. I wanted to take that out of context. I don't love the Ku Klux Klan. I love the humor that's had pointing fun at the Ku Klux Klan in this movie. That whole scene where they're like, we're going to go find that black man lover and we're going to beat him to death. And they're like all gather around with these bags. And they look really menacing when they're riding that terrifying song that like demonic choir comes on and they're riding with the torches. The wind is rustling at them. And then like they cut back to the scene where it's just a bunch of idiots like try to figure out the best way to approach
Cowards
them.
tend to do that. Look at them run.
I love it. And then, you know,
I can see.
they
I
all
can
get-
see all right if I look right here. I can see you, but as soon as I start riding, I can't see shit. Bags all moving all over my face.
Can you see anything? Not too good. They're just like so dumb.
Them grateful
hillbilly.
sons
We're
of
not
guns.
pointing any fingers, but we're just saying
Well,
it
I've
could have been
slipped
done
and
better.
Sweated and bled over these masks, and you ungrateful sons of... Yeah, that's so funny. Dude.
He's like,
Love
we
it.
could ride over and then put them on. He's like, that defeats the purpose.
We wear them. It's final.
I can't see this thing and I can't breathe in this thing.
Get right then. The whole scene is so funny, dude. Jonah Hill, dude. Oh my gosh, it's great. It's a funny scene.
Leonardo Dicaprio are a recipe for success, man.
Yeah, I'll put him again, and
Wolf of
it's
Wall
funny to
Street.
see them pair up. And again, the reason Channing Tatum was in Hateful Eight was literally thanks to Jonah Hill putting a good word, because Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are good friends ever since 21 Jump Street. That Tarantino put Tatum, because Tatum was like, "I'll do anything to be in a Tarantino film." I mean, who wouldn't? Like,
Yeah.
freaking A, dude. Wow, Cameron, jeez.
Your favorite movie, guys?
You know. Oh no, but it's
Gosh.
no, kill me.
Stupid.
So good, dude.
So
No,
good.
he says
Well, yeah. So he says, so funny, dude. All right, take that out. So I love that they shoot the tooth laced with dynamite. This little wiggly tooth on the top of his caravan. He pretends to be like a dentist. Maybe he really was a dentist before he became a bounty hunter.
no, he
And
said
the
he said
carriage
he was. He goes,
explodes.
I haven't been a dentist in 5 years.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love the little wiggly tooth on the top. I love it. And then he laces it with dynamite and explodes. It's so entertaining, dude.
Oh, on
Love it.
top of the cart. I thought you were talking about like he had a wiggly tooth. I'm like, when did he have a wiggly
No,
tooth?
the little bouncing tooth that he laces with dynamite. Yeah.
Think of the wiggly tooth from Emperor's New Groove. Look,
Look at this tooth. It's so funny, dude. I love it too. Like, so there are so many fun scenes where you get to see Christoph Waltz in action, where they go to the town, bring the sheriff, not the marshal, and then the sheriff gets there, and they're like, "Sheriff," and he just shoots him, guns him down in the street.
Sheriff!
Sheriff! And then he runs. He's like, "Now you must bring the marshal." He's like,
you promise
Marshall!
you're not going to
Marshall!
shoot me down like a dog in the street, like
"Like you did our sheriff here." Yeah.
Exactly, like I did your sheriff.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Ty, watching that scene for the first time ever was like crazy. I was just like,
Yeah.
where
And
is
he's
this
like-
movie going?
Django, and he's like, "Yeah, like come back
See,
into
that's
the
what I
bar,
love is
please.
we're
Yeah,
all
come
in
back
the
in the
same
saloon."
spot as
I
Django,
love that,
like,
dude.
Talk about
we should
amazing
run.
introduction.
And
Come
he's
back
just
into
like-
the saloon, and he's like, "Okay, there are little tents out there, so don't make any sudden movements, and I'll do the talking." I love it. And then at the end, when he finally explains, he's like, "Am I to assume that this sheriff came to your town about 2 years ago?" Like, "That's right." He's like, "Well, he is actually a wanted man for, stealing cattle or whatever."
So
and he's like, "So I'm
actually,
here
oh,
on court-martial duty to return this man, dead or alive. In other words, Marshal, you owe me $200. I freaking love that. I
Isn't
don't know
that
why it's like
crazy
such a
that
good-
you could literally like, faking your identity and stuff back in the day is just so much easier. Like you could literally be a police
just be whoever
chief.
you wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, you could until Christoph Waltz came hunting you down.
Yeah,
dead
to
or
just
alive.
murder you.
Yep. So, love it, dude. But that was great. I love that. And again, that whole scene, you didn't know where it was going, and you're like, it's like there are two things happening. One, he's explaining to Django about what he does, and then like all of a sudden he like does and you're like, oh, he's there already. Like he's like, let me catch you up to speed what I'm doing here, and you're like, oh snap! And then they do this whole shtick again, and the first plantation they get to, which is done by, I love the actor.
You were a little overzealous.
Exactly, a little overzealous. Come get yourself something to drink. Don Johnson, his Big Daddy, was so good. Like,
I like the way you
that was
got,
showing up,
boy.
and he's like, "You want me to pick out my own clothes?" And he shows up in the freaking dope blue jacket. I mean, it looks comical, but it looks
Well, it
so
looks like a
cool.
Three
too.
Well, and the
Musketeer.
greatest hero shot of all time. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, dude, when they pull in the weeping willows trees behind him,
Yes.
he's like, he's like, "Hey, He's got the Bible taped to his stomach or whatever. All I remember him is the villain from Lost. He's the gay guy, right? With the feminine throw. Turned out he was actually gay, so you shouldn't make fun of his football tossing abilities. Because they said that, remember, in that Lost in 8 minutes?
Highlight video?
And he throws like a girl, and I'm like, he like later kisses a guy in one of the flashbacks. I'm like, oh, he was gay before going to the island. So you better not make fun of his sissy throw now. You hear? It's so funny, though, because he still throws terribly.
It was just such a random detail. That
it was. But it was so funny. It was just like a moment of humor explaining Lost in 8 minutes and 15 seconds. So great. Watch that video if it's out there, dude. Because it actually explains the whole show, and it does a really good job. At least up till season 3, I believe, right?
I don't know.
And then after that, it's like, how else do you explain the rest of the show? So back to Django. Other things you guys wanted to throw out, just like favorite things, because we're just going through it. I have so much to gush about this movie. It's so amazing.
Yeah, the quotes are just so funny.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Like
about
I said, I laugh every single time when that like the inaudible. Like I understand 1 in 3 words, and I'm just like, what the fudge is this guy saying?
Yeah, talk about Quentin writes some of the greatest scripts, man. I just wonder if his brain is like constantly spinning with just the most clever.
But Tarantino, your films are so violent because it's fun, Janet. Get it? That'll never get old. That interview, dude, where they
It doesn't. I've seen that that interview so many times.
Just this fat, just Karen, just getting on show, like just him about violence in his movies, and he's like, I think kids could tell the difference between movies and real life, but and she's like, it's just hyper-violent, doesn't have soul, and he's like, it's fun. I could tell the difference. I watch these violent westerns. I loved them.
And he's like, and how do I look, Jan? And she's like, And then he's like, well, you're lucky I can't see you.
That's right, dude. So funny, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. The violence, man, it's great. The stylized, I love when they shoot all those guys and they do the montage of him getting really, really good. He's like never sucks. Jamie Foxx is like an excellent shot with the long rifle and the pistol. He says he's a natural, so it's like, well, there you go. He's just gifted.
It was a little nice cop
I love
out.
when he has like lead that's from the rifle in his hat, and he like tips the hat, and hot lead comes pouring out of his hat. That's just so cool, dude. Like that's what I want in my western, dude. Just so dope. Tipping his hat so hot lead could drop out of the brim of his hat. It's so cool. Makes me wish I could have lived then, dude, even though I wouldn't want to have. I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have. But that moment, I'm like, that's
made me realize I'd never, ever, 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 ever want to live in that time.
Cameron, we weren't talking business yet. We were discussing my curiosity. It's so
I'm
good,
curious
dude.
is why you're curious.
I'm curious as to why
What you
you're
say,
curious.
boys? Or when he's walking up the stairs, he's like, one could say use a nugget. Excuse me.
They zoom in. They're like
Dude, the zooms are
comedic
great.
Zooms are so funny, dude. Like when they shoot him and then they just like pan up to those 2 slaves in the barn. They're like looking out the window. They're like, like it's just so funny. Like it's so comical, but like the zoom ins, like it happens. The best one is at the end with Samuel Jackson realizing that Calvin just got shot. He's just like, "Ah!" And like zooms right in on like a tight shot. Samuel Jackson's so great, dude. I love it.
He's so good.
He's so great.
Snowball? What'd you call it?
What would you call? You can't talk to me like that. Hey. It's like, he is a free man. What you talk about? So funny, dude. Oh, I love it. And then like the camera like dramatically zooming in on Django every time he's like going to lose his cool and start murdering people. It's so great, dude. Like so great. There's a really humorous scene where
That scene when he's whipping the guy is wild. I was like,
oh
oh
yeah,
my
dude,
gosh.
freaking slapping him on the ground, whipping the shiz out of him. It's crazy. I love there's this really funny scene where the guy that's, I can't remember his name. He's like the mousy guy with the glasses. He's there at the table. What's his name? I can't think of his name now.
Don't speak French.
not
The
Mr.
guy was like,
Pooch.
don't speak French to him. He doesn't speak French.
Leonide, I think it was his name. Leonard? Or what was his name? It's the
It'll
guy with
make
the
him embarrassed.
glasses.
Yeah.
He gets shot. He opens the double doors and gets shot, and then Django uses him as like a
That's the
cushion to
dopest
land on
thing
top of.
ever.
So
That
fucking
jump
dope.
out when
But
he
that
shoots
guy,
the guard.
oh my gosh, yeah. When he jumps out of the hall, like into the hallway and shoots the guys at the door.
Using him
it's
as
so
a
dope.
fetching belt, like as a pillow.
So that guy, I love his scene when they like. He's like, Mr. Pooch, like review. He's like, yeah, Mr. What is his name? I can't remember. His
Well,
name.
if
Like,
you freeze frame that
Mr. Mogul.
image of him jumping out the hallway, you can actually see his stunt double.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that poor guy had to like land on his face with Jamie Foxx landing on top of him.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looked
yeah.
very easy. So,
Well, I'm
but
saying Jamie
Mr.
Foxx
Mogan,
was
he's
the
like,
stunt
Mr.
double.
Mogan, he's
Double,
like,
yeah.
please collect the pistols off these boys' belts, and then he goes up and like disarms them, and he's like, Jack. He like whispers it, and it makes me laugh. I don't know why it always makes me laugh, but he like whispers it to Django and Christoph Waltz. Like just whisper. I don't know why I love that scene. Like it's a
kinda
quiet.
funny.
You blink and you miss it, or you don't even hear it. It's just
Yeah,
like
it
whispers
is
to
kind
him,
of just like randomly aggressive. You're like, what?
yeah, whispers it as he takes their guns away. I don't
He's
know why I
such a
thought that was
pansy
so
too.
funny.
That's the best part. It's
Yes.
like,
See, and again, the whole conversation, again, Tarantino just builds suspense. The entire time when they finally discover it and you're worried, he does this long monologue about the skull and the three dimples, and he's like, I bet if we took you here, bashed your skull in, we would find the same three dimples as old Ben. And then, like that moment, and then the doors open, he freaks out because they're about to stand up and draw because they know that they're on to him. The jig is up. It's so fetching intense. And, Leonardo DiCaprio famously smashed his hand on the glass in the scene and cut
that
it.
hurts me.
And he didn't stop acting. So he like kept acting, and Tarantino's
wiped
like
his real
"Brilliant."
blood
And
on his
everyone,
co-star.
and everyone like applauded. Yeah, everyone just applauded. They were like, "Wow, it's incredible." Like,
Wow, the girl's like,
Leonardo DiCaprio
covered in
really is
blood.
a
yeah,
psychotic,
Kerry Washington just
psychotic
getting
person.
blood wiped all over her face, and she's like, "What the?"
Yeah,
fuck
I'm
is
sure
that?"
I'm sure there's some law against that, spreading your blood all over somebody with AIDS and everything. So, but I love that. And there's the great moment where he's like, I would say Auf Wiedersehen, but in German that's until we meet again. He goes, so in this instance, I will say goodbye. Like,
Because I
doesn't
never
wanna
want to
him
see you
again.
again.
Yeah, exactly. And then another quotable line, just, "Oh, one moment, doctor." And he stands up and he's like, "It's customary in the South that after a business deal negotiation has been reached, that the two agreeing parties will shake hands." He's like, "Oh, really? Well, I'm not from the South." And he goes, "Yes, but you're in my house. And as long as you're in my house, you will use my hospitality," or whatever. And he's like, "You shoot them down, you gun her down if they try to leave, if this German doesn't shake my hand." And he goes, "You want me to shake your hand? I insist." "Oh, if you insist." Walks up to him, and all he had to do was shake his hand, and as he stretches his arm out, the little pistol whips out. It's just so good, dude. Fetching's so good,
My
dude.
favorite line that I wanted to say in the beginning is, I love it when Fetching Samuel Jackson's like, "I count 6 shots, Nugget." And he's like, "I count 2 guns, Nugget." He pulls out his second gun. I'm like, dude. this is
So
fantastic.
good. I can't 6 shots. Yeah, what do you think? There's not another gun in the house? Like, dude.
Yeah.
Fetching heck, dude. Like, oh my word. It's so incredible. I love it.
And I love that,
I
like,
love
the
it.
"Hey, little troublemaker." That's
Hey,
like
little
a
troublemaker.
sweet line to have. And the "How do you like the bounty hunter business?" He's like, "Kill white people and get paid for it? What's not to like?" Such a funny line.
It's so good,
And
dude.
and obviously the candy line where he's like, $12,000. "Gentlemen, you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention."
Attention.
Now you have my attention. Dude, he is a rambunctious fellow, isn't he? It's so good, dude. Like, he's so ridiculous. He's so over the top. It's great. I love it.
he's
Where's
so
my
annoying.
beautiful sister? What's it gonna be, Doc?
And then I'm like, what the
He's so
fuck?
unhinged.
It's definitely a creepo.
Yes, weird relationship. That's the South for you, right? In Alabama, they're all just.
Oh, yeah, they are. Which I
Hey, we love you, listener in Alabama. Hope we haven't horribly offended you. So nitpicks. You guys have any nitpicks? I would throw out one nitpick at the very end when he's staring at the house and as it explodes. I'm like, he's standing dangerously close to the house. And they want to
reminds me of
back up
other
just a
guys.
little bit.
See, but
Yeah.
see, for me, the
There's no way.
the only reason I let it slide because it's the same reason he's got Fetching sunglasses. It's like it's
Puts them on so it doesn't incinerate
it's
his
like
eyes.
obviously sunglasses didn't Fetching exist back then.
It's ridiculous. It's amazing.
So-
It's fetching dope, dude. And that look back where he's the long cigar in his
My-
mouth, I'm like, action hero of the year, right there.
My one
So
nitpick
dope.
is just like I wish why did he just stop to apologize to Django instead of just blowing that mofo with the sawed-off shotgun away?
Why he stops to apologize to Django.
Right after he shoots Calvin, right in the heart.
He
After
shoots Calvin.
Candy. He shoots him in the heart. Then he turns around and he goes, "I'm sorry, I couldn't resist."
Oh, that was his only gun he had. They removed his other gun. He had one bullet, Cameron.
I know, but still, like, he couldn't, like, try to do anything. Just sat there and accepted getting blown away by a sawed-off shotgun.
I don't think in his mind so when he
was
decided to
planning on
kill
leaving
him, he
till
was, yeah.
alive. Yeah.
And the idea too that after he had already finished the negotiation, he was like, "Don't let them leave." He was already threatening them. I think he was already like, "I don't think there's a big chance that we're going to leave here alive." I think that was his impression.
Oh, well, because somebody else said that it was a selfish move because he screwed over the rest of them.
I thought about that too, but in the end, I'm like, what would they have to lose? Like, no one knows this German. He could kill him and the two people as they leave the property, and they're $12,000 richer. No one's the wiser.
Yeah, but I also think it was a pride thing, man. He just, I don't
probably
blame
was,
him.
yeah.
Like,
And I liked it
wanted
too
to
because
shoot him.
you see that it's actually impacting him. Like he mentions the French, what was the guy's name?
Alexander Dumas.
Alexander Dumas. He's like, I wonder what he would have thought of this. And it's really interesting because it's obviously affected him. He's like, I don't know how you guys do things here in America, but he's like, it's a little different in Germany, you know. So
yeah, what I like
really
too is because like they're playing Beethoven in the background or whatever, which is German, and he's like, Jared talks about how like they're just like, he doesn't like something so beautiful coming from his home country being used by these savages who just degrade human beings. And so like that's kind of like that with the memory.
Right.
He's just like,
he yells at him to
people
stop.
are
Yeah,
not
she's like,
human.
play something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets really upset with her.
Beethoven.
And I think that was the moment where I guess he was just like, in the end, killing him was like a greater good. And the world is better off without Calvin Candy. I think we can all agree with that, right? Yep. And he died
My other
famously
nitpick,
for it.
I mean, it's hard to like say it's even a nitpick, but it's just like the scene with the dog, the dogs, and then also the scene with the fighting. It's like it's just like it's hard to watch, and like I was looking away at multiple parts in that, but like at the same time, that's what makes it so much more gratifying when those people are murdered, that treat those people, and I feel like it also just sets the tone of just like this is very real. Like,
well, yeah, and they did a really good job at demonstrating, like, they were treated as property. Like, they abused their
like
property.
animals,
they murdered, they
ridiculous.
tortured. Yeah, yeah. But even worse than animals, like, I don't treat my dog that way, and I don't know anyone that does. Like subhuman
well, they literally
property
treated like
with disdain,
Calvin Candy
prejudice.
was treating that one black guy as a literal like a racehorse. He's like, oh yeah, drink this beer because you're good fighting.
Yeah. He's like, good job. You just murdered someone else for the sake of staying alive yourself. It was like literally a gladiator fight.
Yeah.
But even like less dignity, it was so humiliating. Just like 4 people in a room watching a guy fight someone else to the death, and then he's like, finish him. Like after you win the fight, he has to beat this guy in the head with a hammer, or it's kill or be killed.
Dude, and
so devastating.
I love
unbelievably
I love the
devastating.
scene too when Django's like, you better listen to your boss, white boy. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go walking in the moonlight with you, and he's like, you want to hold my hand?
Yeah, he's telling him what to do. I love it, dude. Yeah, I love the fighting they have, the disbelief they had. They're like, they had never seen a black man ride on a horse before, you know? It's so great. Like,
and when he shoots him in the fetching just after almost that guy wanting to chop off Django's, I was like, vindication.
Yeah, his voice goes up pretty high, dude, after he's shot, dude.
Understandable.
Do you guys recommend Django Unchained? I recommend this movie to everybody. If you want to know what slavery was like, they should watch this in history class, dude. Be like, this is how awesome it is to be black now. It's because this movie's such dope. Dude.
Well, I love that he's changing history, like, you know, in all his movies, like Inglourious, this one, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just
like look at this movie and you realize like how silly all the racist notions are. You really do. Like, and again, it's like there were like very unintelligent people, and
believe that somebody is a lesser person than you because of the color of their skin.
Yeah, it's barbaric.
Yeah, it's like you're
and I love
down
that. And then
syndrome.
like I'm so grateful for movies like this because not only like is it cartoon like stylized, but it's like it's cool to not be racist. like Tarantino's like making a stylized movie where you're like, it's cool to be the freaking like Jamie Foxx looks so bad. Like who watched this movie and was like, yeah, Calvin Candy, man, I want to be more like that guy. Jeez. Yeah, I want to be like Christoph Waltz. I want to be like Jamie Foxx. They're so cool. They're like heroes. I aspire to be them. They weren't perfect. They had flaws, but they're freaking dope. And I'm like, I want to emulate the freaking character. I want to be like, I want to have a hat like that. I want to freaking dress like him. I want to listen to rap music like he does. Respect, Nugget, the Savior. What does he say? Christ is coming back or whatever. I can't remember.
I'm like, Jesus coming back.
Jesus coming back. I was like,
one of my favorite scenes is when he comes in with the guys who are like taking a bath and like playing cards, and he just fucking blows them away. And people who like come in for half a second, they like look to see what's happening and get blown away too.
It's funny too. I can't forget Tarantino's cameo where he's the guy with the dynamite. He throws it in the carriage with all the guys, and he's like, like it's like manic laugh as he throws the dynamite in the thing, and they all freak out and jump.
I mean, yeah. The only thing is he
so
didn't
weird.
lock the gate after he did do that, which is like
Oh, dude.
hard to-
Yeah, totally. Well, they literally get outsmarted by him, and he's like, hey, I'm a wanted bounty hunter, and the only reason they're there is like they have a bounty on their heads, and he convinces all of them, and they're all like, yeah, let's go along with it. Well, give him a pistol, and he just shoots both of them. Like, it's that easy. Like, they're so stupid. Because it never occurred to them that this guy could plot against him. And I love when you see the moment where he's riding off in the or not in the sunset, but he's riding back to get Brumhilde, or is it Brumhilde? Hilda?
Brumhilde.
Brumhilde, yeah. Von Schaft. But he's like riding off, and then the other guys look at him, and he kind of has like a smile. Like he's like, dude, I want to aspire to be like that, dude. Think for myself, take matters into my own hands, become a free man. It's dope. It's freaking, want to aspire to be that. It's freaking
Why
awesome.
does the greatest director of all time have to need to stop after 10?
After 10.
10 years. 10 years.
10 movies, that's it. 10.
10.
But he also said he would be willing to consider Kill Bill 1 and 2 as one. So we might have 2 more movies, technically, from Kill Bill. Because the movie Kill Bill, he considers them one movie. That's what he said in interviews. So it's like, technically, you could still have 2 more great films from Tarantino. But it's wild. Like, his movies speak more. Like, Once Upon a Time Hollywood was really telling. It was like one of the last movies right before the pandemic and everything. It's like, yeah, Hollywood is changing. It's losing its star power. Like, people aren't going to go to the theaters anymore. You know, it's definitely dying. So movie podcasts like this are going to die.
But he was kind of like against Netflix, and all of a sudden when they're like, oh, you can make another cut, and he's like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I can reshoot, Hateful Eight and add like 40 more minutes. I'm down. Sign me up. Where do I sign? It's fun. Get it? So,
No, my favorite video is the guy parroting him, and he's like, I don't have a big
Norm
ego.
Macdonald.
I got a big head, and I don't mean I have a big ego. See, my head is literally big. I just leave sitting up. Okay.
Dude, Norm Macdonald did a great impression of Tarantino, dude. Rest
So
in peace,
funny.
Norm. Went too soon. So, we recommend it. I think it's clear from all of us. Absolutely love this movie. And
Watch
Cameron.
all of Quentin's movies. Oh,
Yeah, watch
they're
them all.
Good.
Gotta watch them all. Cameron, what movies have you seen lately? What are you looking forward to seeing?
Not too much. I just watched. I finished Sing, the animated one. Super fun, super sweet message. Great voice actors. They have
Wait, the movie Sing with all the animals?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It's so good. I cried. I was like, this is
it's
amazing.
really fun.
I
and
just
beautiful.
don't understand why they're all animals. It's for kids, right?
It's
Yeah.
cute.
Just saying, they never address
And
it.
they have
Like, it
Matthew
never comes up.
McConaughey is a little koala bear, dude. He's so sweet.
All right.
And then
I have syphilis.
I watched Identity because I watched
Guys, I'm just saying, look it up. Koala bears, they're carrying syphilis. I know they look really cuddly. Look it up. Get TDs from koala bears. Who knew? You don't have to with them either. They can give you syphilis. Just saying, dude. Don't know. I thought I'd just throw that out there. When you mentioned the koala bear, and you're like, it makes sense that Matthew McConaughey is one of them. He's all like, cool vibes, man. I look into the future and I see who's he for, here's a go, where's a go. Yeah, anyway, that's my best impression of Matthew.
Also, I watched Identity because Jordan recommended it for me to watch.
Identity.
It was,
Yes, thoughts.
So, okay, well, I thought it was a super cool twist with it's like in his head and it's his personality. So I was like, that is a super, and the fact is the mother effing kid ruined it. It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Horse don't get second chances.
Yeah, I still would give it an 8 out of 10. Like a super
That's
fun
hilarious.
and clever movie. You just don't watch the end of the reveal. Watching kid.
Yeah, Karen, I was conflicted by the ending too. I was like, I really liked
And I
all
love
of
the
the
point. I
personalities.
think Jordan or Nick made it on the pod of talking about how like there's no way a kid could shove that bat down that man's throat. I'm like, and then Nick's like, he's actually a midget.
That's right, dude.
But yeah,
Oh
it
my
was just
gosh.
it was just like one of those things where I was like, what the fudge? Like like the scene where he fucking runs out in the middle and then the car like murders his father. I'm like, no way he planned that.
Yeah, what did he do to plan?
And they act
that?
like all
It's-
those things he had planned, like
he orchestrated it.
perfectly.
Well, again, granted, he was standing in the road, and didn't his dad try to save him?
Yeah.
So he was basically baiting his
He
father
was
to come
banking
save
that
him.
they wouldn't hit him, though.
Yeah, they were banking that he would swerve and murder his father.
They're all figments inside someone's imagination, so I don't know why we're even nitpicking the physics of the place.
And that guy's acting was a little cheesy.
The father, or which one?
The psycho guy. I laughed every single time he was like,
Everyone's crazy. Who's the psycho guy?
Like the guy in the real world.
So not John Cusack, but the fat
John Cusack's fat version, yeah.
fat version. The fat man that John Cusack is inside of.
Okay, I thought of, and I thought would be a really cool, actually, like, spin-off, is I thought that chubby guy who was crazy was actually the little kid in the future. Like, because of, like, experiencing all that traumatic shiz that went on of his mom, like, getting just absolutely obliterated by that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And then they're like, it's actually him behind it all. And I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, very interesting. Anything else?
Nope. I just want to emphasize again how funny Fetching Nice Guys is. Holy shiz, that movie.
It's a great movie.
So good.
It's a great movie.
Anyway, and then probably on my watch list, I'm probably gonna try to watch Scream Loose or Fantastic Mr. Fox this week, hopefully.
Right on, dude. So I want to make sure, I did mention Midnight Mass, right? The Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah,
Did I mention
Cameron.
that?
Okay.
Check it out. Watch it, please.
Oh snap! How many episodes?
There's
only 8.
maybe 9. I think it's 8.
How long are the episodes?
About an
40
hour.
minutes.
Some of them are 40 minutes. I think one of them's an hour or like 50-something minutes. But it's really good. I normally don't ask for show. It's like watching Squid Game.
Well,
I think
he
you're
should
going to like
watch
it.
the Haunting at Hill House. Should he watch this? Is it too scary?
This one's different. This one
Okay,
you
good.
can watch, Cameron.
Okay.
You can watch this one. This is
Okay.
not
Not
Haunting Hill
demonic.
House. I wouldn't watch that one. That one's more of like the ghost and the haunting.
Okay,
this
good.
one's very different. And I don't even want to spoil it, but it's not going to be. You should watch it.
And
And you'll know very quickly. You'll know very
I should be
quickly.
able to do it because what's called. Well, I'm finishing my finals on Monday, so I'll have some free time.
It's so good. I can't wait to discuss Midnight Mass. So that's a great
Yeah.
movie. Just been watching we mentioned all the movies on the podcast, but I watched a movie, Don't Breathe 2. I finally watched the sequel.
Oh my gosh, Ty.
for-
Isn't that the dumb... Okay, can I please
Wait,
talk
Cameron,
about
have you
it?
seen it?
No, I don't care. I'm probably.
Do you want to
Yeah,
dip
okay,
out,
good.
or do you don't care to have it spoiled?
No.
Okay, all right.
From just hearing Jordan say how bad it is.
Okay,
I'm not gonna watch
Yeah.
Ty,
Yeah.
to tell me that the whole, like... So the guy creepily watches her and he's like... And it looks like he's going to, like, kidnap and... If he's literally going there to get back his kid, like, why on earth does he not grab her when she's going to the bathroom at that place? Instead, he waits till they go back to the house and go through this elaborate thing. Like, they almost kill her a bajillion times. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they nearly zap her alive in a box filled with water.
Yeah,
which I didn't
it
understand.
doesn't make any
I also
sense.
didn't understand why she didn't push the wire part of it out of the box.
Well, she could get electrocuted, right? Because her hands are wet.
only if she touched the tip of it. She could have touched above it and like pushed,
Maybe,
tilted
yeah,
the,
thrown
the,
it
the
out.
wire upward. Yeah, I mean, she still would have drowned. But I'm just saying, like, the blind guy had to come in and find the wire and pull it away. Like,
Well, and why was
did he
he
know
trying?
what the wire
Why
was?
was he trying to drown her if they're trying to save her? Like, I just.
Dude, tell me about it. What kind of selfish parents are like, okay, let's murder my daughter so I can go on living my existence making crystal meth? Like, I guess parents that also cook crystal meth, but like the idea that like she was like, I know a lot of shizzy people like in my own life.
And how does a blind guy
people-
just find a random kid?
he stumbles on a kid and he's like, oh, you're coming home with me. Like, did he know the house is on fire? It's insane. This movie's insane. I have so many questions.
nuts.
Also,
And Ty, could
the
you
guy
see
is blind and
anything?
he's wood chopping at the beginning. I'm like, is wood chopping something blind people do? Like,
And
I
Ty,
don't think
could
it's
you?
in general.
Yeah, right. Swing it,
I'm
hit his
like-
foot.
He turns into John Wick at the end too. He like has the dog lead him back to the place. I thought that was clever, but like he's walking around in an unfamiliar building and he's like assassinating everyone. And I'm like, he wouldn't even know that there's a giant pool there. He should have fell in there. Like, guy's blind. He doesn't have a walking cane with
No,
him. He
he's
would have like
Daredevil,
stumbled and
Ty.
fell in the giant.
Yeah,
empty
that's what I was
pool.
gonna say. He's Daredevil, Ty.
Yeah. Oh, there's literally a scene where he's like lying in a pool of water
Yeah.
and the guy's all walking
The
in water,
ripples.
and he like fills the 3 ripples and shoots them perfectly. It's laughable. It's so
hilarious.
silly. But like the shooting the murderous attack dog, I was like, that's morally reprehensible. I'm like, you've already murdered like countless people and like, but shooting a dog, I couldn't do that. Like a dog that's actively trying to kill him, he like couldn't shoot it. I was like, okay, I guess he has morals. But I thought it was great at the end when he confesses to his daughter. He's like, which isn't his daughter, it's revealed. I kept waiting for the reveal that I was like, there's no way this girl has this
Is it a prequel?
bad of luck. No, it's a sequel. It happens 8 years after the fact, Cameron.
Oh boy.
So he stumbles upon this girl lying in the street, and her house blew up because her parents were cooking crystal meth in the basement, and it
How does he
exploded.
stumble upon her?
Exactly.
He's walking with his dog. He's walking, and she's laying in the street, unconscious. So he picks her up, takes her back
As you
home.
do naturally after an explosion.
As a blind person, not knowing if parents are watching, if the girl's even alive, like, just takes
Where
this-
is the fire department? Like, he just walks by. And
just
like,
walks by. A blind guy gets there before the fire department. The house is entirely exploded. I guess because
and,
of his
and
supersonic
nobody
hearing.
sees
he
a guy
appeared.
walking up with a little girl.
Jordan,
like,
you know what I was hoping for? I was hoping that he caused the explosion.
Oh.
That somehow led him
That
to
would
get an
have made
opportunity
more
to
sense
kidnap the
than
kid.
this ridiculous movie.
Or intentionally set the fire to the house so he could kidnap the girl
Yes,
and kill the
that would
parents.
make sense.
I was hoping for that. Never happened. It was like, let's twist again. Turns out this poor girl has the worst luck. Her legal guard, or her kidnapped father, or whatever you want to call him, the blind man, and her real shizzy parents are like crystal meth cookers that want her to give up her heart so the mother can go on selfishly living and cooking crystal meth. What kind of mother? I don't care how shizzy of a parent you are. What kind of mother is like, I will take my daughter's heart so I can go on living? I don't know that person. Maybe they exist. Maybe there's evil women out there that are like, yeah, I would take my daughter's heart to go on living. Like, who is that person? Holy
yeah, but the heart would be
shiz.
no good if they killed her, right? Is that?
Yeah, they can't kill her until the very last moment. And then, like, there's a hilarious moment where he's like, well, I can't sedate her because I need the heart fresh. So he's like, we're going to keep her alive and conscious while they cut the heart out of her and put it in you. It's like, okay, like, right. And then he's like ready to drill, and then the power goes out. I'm like, jeez, that blind guy has good timing, dude. Like, oh my gosh. And unlike a hospital, it doesn't have any backup generators, right? But that was the hilarious part. At the beginning, they teased this psychotic murderer. I was hoping that would be the father, but it wasn't. It was just like a guy that these crystal meth cookers hired. I was completely
I
sus
haven't
the whole
finished
time.
it, so I didn't realize. I thought he was the dad.
Wait, what? You haven't finished the movie?
No, because I was just getting so stupid and ridiculous. I was just like,
Oh,
I'm done.
it's absurd. It's absurd.
Yeah,
Like,
I got to the part where they were in the greenhouse, and I'm like, I'm done. This is stupid.
oh, dude, you got to watch the ending. It's insane. It's insane. So there's a great scene. Like, there's just like, you killed my brother, you blind freak. And I was like, hey, that's not very nice. Like, the guy's handicapped after all. But I'm like, he did murder his brother in half of the
Ty,
game.
could you
Like, I
see
get-
anything? I felt like I couldn't see anything. I was like, I turned off all
It's
the lights.
hazy. Yeah,
and
it's grainy.
I felt as blind as the guy.
It's a little more indie, and I'm glad the movie got
They're
made.
trying to
'cause in the
immerse
end-
you in the movie, Jordan.
Yeah, it's like
Just a
like one
blank
part
screen
Hannah.
the entire time.
It's one part Hannah where he's raising her in the forest, and he's like teaching her survival skills, and he's like, you have to be prepared, like, you know, like. And
Oh,
everything. I don't know.
jeez.
He's such a weirdo, but anyway, it's like you are literally the kind of thing that she needs to be prepared for. People coming up and scooping you up off the street and raising you as their own. It's insane. Anyway, I just remember thinking that line though, you killed my brother, you blind freak. And then there's like so many laughable moments, right? Like,
Yes.
like kill the blind guy, bring the girl. And he goes, how many of us to kill the guy? And he goes, all of you. It's literally a ripoff of Leon the Professional.
Yes.
This scene where he yells at him.
Everyone.
Everyone. Yeah, he literally, he's like, you bring the girl and bring all the men. Or he's like, yeah, you all go kill the blind guy. And he's like, how many of us? It's such a knockoff. Such a knockoff. But anyway, at the very end, they ask her, like, what's your name? And she's like, Phoenix. And then the music plays and everything. And it was the name that her blind kidnapped father gave her. She decided to go with that identity rather than her real shizzy parents that cook crystal meth.
Phoenix.
And so she says Phoenix at the end, and all I can think of is like, what is your name? Ray what? Ray Skywalker. It's like so stupid. It's like so dumb.
Han
Anyway.
Solo.
You'll be solo. Yeah, it's just another dumb thing. But anyway. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Don't Breathe 2. That was the movie I watched. How about you, Jordan? Do you watch anything?
Oh yes, Ty. So you've been, talking nonstop. Like, hey, you haven't watched all these classics and perfect movies. So
All right, let's hear it.
I
dude.
went and I saw.
Dude, if you see North by Northwest,
Okay, so check this out. Wait,
you better say it. You better say it. Ahem.
So I watched This Is Spinal Tap.
Oh man, the dials go up to 10. No, but this one goes to 11. He's like, well, why don't you just make 10 louder? This one goes to 11. Dude, that is a funny comedy.
There were some good moments. It's
Great.
just
It's an older comedy.
Well,
Yeah.
no. So that's not the thing. The problem with this is just like I like when it comes to like musicians, I prefer like a based on a true story movie. When it comes to like comedies, like did you see Pop Star or whatever? It's got
Yes.
is that the
Yes.
guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Andy Samberg. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
The Lonely Island folks.
I did not care for that one either. Like, it's just not my type of humor. So,
There was some really laugh out loud moments, but yes, the movie does feel 15,
well,
20
this
minutes
is
too
like
long.
Best in Show. I couldn't get through Best in Show. This one was like seriously.
Best in Show, dude. How dare you, Christopher
I'm sorry.
Guest.
I'm just not.
Yeah, you're
not
not
really,
a big fan.
it's
That's
not-
okay.
Yeah, sorry. It's
Dude,
not my
but
thing.
do you watch Creek, right?
Yeah, and I
It's right up that alley.
yeah,
that humor.
that one's borderline this, but that
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I did, however, like when the lady's like reading. She's like, "Have you been reading reviews about you guys?" And it's like one of the reviews said, "If God slept on the seventh day, why didn't He also sleep on the day He created Spinal Tap?" The guy's like, "Oh, that's a good one. That's good."
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that. That made me
This
laugh.
is terrible band manager. It's just so funny, dude.
Oh,
I
so
love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's. I admit there's some great moments.
This
So
one
and
does
then
do it
I
better.
finally. So your wife said you call yourself a movie critic, and you've never seen Psycho, and
Finally watch it.
yeah, I finally watched it, and actually I love it. Like, gosh
Alfred
dang.
Hitchcock. Who knew? He's like a really good director. If he keeps up with it, he might go places. If he
I
just
was
stays
seriously
with it.
thinking though, what if he was making movies today? Oh my gosh, like, geez.
He might fizzle out though. He'll turn into like Steven Spielberg and just remake West Side Story for some unknown reason, beknownst to me. Why? Why is he making West Side Story?
And then
Why?
the other one, Ty, you
gonna
mentioned
be
Double
terrible.
Indemnity. Finally watched it. Holy crap! Great
Double
movie.
Indemnity. Holy shiz, dude.
Yeah, great movie.
That's my work, dude. That's what I do for my work, dude. It's my
Yeah.
job.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
that's my job.
it's selling insurance. You just
Yeah,
think-
don't get lured in by a Black Widow and then plot to kill her husband. Amazing.
And just thinking about like I was just grossed by everybody. I just felt like
Yes.
gross because
Yes.
the people trying to figure out like, oh, we've got to make
Insurance
sure we don't
claim,
give them
yes.
anybody.
Yeah, don't
any-
give him money. He's
And
so
it's
good,
like,
dude.
why are they even paying for insurance if you're not going to like divvy it out? That's gross. Just
right.
companies made me sick, which goes into my next one, which was Chinatown. Finished that one finally.
Oh my gosh, yes. Chinatown
Also,
was great.
corporate I guess it was even further than that. It's the whole dad thing. Ugh,
Pretty
Gee,
crazy.
it's the mother. Psh, it's the sister. Psh, mother. Psh. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? This movie it's twisted.
I think Jack Nicholson was really slapping that poor actress around.
Yeah,
dude.
I think he was.
I don't think there was anything fake about it.
And then
Dude, his nose getting cut though, the knife being placed in his nose and then pulling the knife. Oh.
Yeah,
I hope we don't faint, Cameron. I don't know if you're still listening
great
or not.
movie. And then I couldn't get through Best Friends. I'm sorry, but
Best friend. Oh, dude, that movie's weird. Greg Sestero and
Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau.
I was hoping for so bad it's good, but then I was just like, this is just like the director being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to make it bad, and I was like
I actually thought it was pretty good. I
Oh,
didn't think he
really?
was trying to do it bad. I think he was actually trying to be ambitious and yes, he does have a weird friend, Tommy Wiseau, but like if you meet Tommy Wiseau, you're like, this is the best you can get from him, and it's actually really interesting. Like,
interesting. Maybe I need to finish it because I just started it and I was getting like the
no,
music
I
was so
think
obnoxious.
It definitely
and-
gets worse as you watch. It
Oh,
starts
okay.
better than it ends. Yeah, there's like
Oh,
two parts
really?
to it.
Well, I
First
just-
part's better in my opinion. Because
Yeah.
just the intrigue of like meeting someone like Tommy Wiseau who
Yeah,
drives
but
like a hearse.
they did all that in
dresses
both
the
The
way he
Room
does.
and The Disaster
Yeah.
Artist. I felt like that
Right.
was already discovered. So I just felt like there was nothing new to this one, and it was just worse than those two.
There really isn't, except I would argue that it's more embracing of like who Tommy Wiseau is as a person as opposed to like it's laughable how bad he is as
Yeah, but
Johnny.
I
But
feel
this
like
one's
they
like he's a
perfectly
weird quirky
embodied
person.
that in The Room and Disaster Artist. So I don't know.
Probably.
I rewatched Murder by Numbers. Cameron, you need to watch it. Sandra Bullock, and it's got Ryan Gosling.
Kim's
saying.
like,
And then after seeing that play, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I rewatched the movie, and the lead
do
person.
you still fast forward the lead actress's song where she's sitting on the porch swing for like 8 minutes singing her dumb song? I always skipped over that one.
Yeah, so this one in the play they actually added a Brazilian song, which was very weird, and then the lead singer in this, for some reason this bugs me, maybe not everybody else, but when singers go "Hey," like it reminds me of Peter Sellers when he's under the bed and she's like, sing to me, and he's like, in the forest, like it's comical, like it's not good. So
Or
I
the
don't-
Cowardly Lion, dude.
yes, yeah, of the forest. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the Vera Brado or whatever you call
or
it.
the Snow White when she's like, I'm singing.
Well, and yet you love Les Mis, which is literally Hugh Jackman doing the voice.
I do like Les Mis, but that was the first time I had ever seen it and never had heard of the play ever.
You know.
I started Black Friday. It's not good. I'm sorry. I was sort of enjoying the fact they're doing practical effects, but it was kind of grossing me out. And it was just like, because it has Bruce Campbell. I rewatched The Bone Collector, which, I mean, it was okay. It's got the guy from Faults, and he's like, I was in prison, and I was like, it was gross.
Jeez.
Anyways, that's everything I've watched.
It's great. Well, I'm looking forward to, I need to still see one thing that I was looking forward to. Where is it?
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I also been watching the Chucky TV series, and there's a hilarious part where they come in, and so the actual actor type from the original Chucky movie, the very first one, Child's Play, he's in this one. Not a great actor, but he comes in at the end, and he goes from house to house from everybody that bought a Chucky doll, and he just starts shooting the Chucky dolls. And it's hilarious because he finally finds one that's like the real Chucky doll, and he's like, "You did this?" And Chucky pulls out a knife to stab the little girl, and he just starts mowing it down right in front of this little girl, and there's blood spurting out everywhere. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
It's hilarious. It's like
It's wild.
ridiculous, but
That's wild.
Oh, and I'm
my
looking
gosh.
forward to the new Jeepers Creepers for. Third one sucked, but I'm hoping that the fourth one will be good.
Well, now we're talking about Django. I believe Jeepers Creepers, wasn't that Jeepers Critters 3? Oh, it's Jeepers. Yeah, you're saying Jeepers Creepers. I was thinking of Critters. Critters 1 or 3 was like Leonardo Dicaprio's first movie.
Was it really? Mm-hmm. I like the second Critters. No, the first one was good. It's got the same director of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Did
Is that
first
right?
Critters. Yeah.
It's better than Ghoulies, because Ghoulies suck, dude. That movie was so dumb. It's not even so bad it's good. It's like so dumb it's dumb.
I need to watch it. I have them on bucket list.
Weird. Like,
Corey
you know,
used
the
to
image
tell
of the
me
little
stories about
suspenders.
that coming out of the toilet, and I'm
coming out of the
terrified.
toilet. Never happens. At least I don't even remember. There's no toilet scene in the movie. Never comes out of the toilet. False marketing. I was waiting for that outfit and everything. It's so dumb. The movie is absolutely dumb. Not even worth the wait. Not even worth the watch. Absolutely not. So, and again, I want to find something. Maybe if you did a super cut where like the best 2 or 3 minutes and it's just out of context, it would be funny. Yeah. But it's just like it's like
so
when I
not
watched
even
the movie
Trolls
Frogs.
2 bad. Like
No. Like. And I wish it was, but there was definitely. It was like trying to watch something like Twin Peaks, like deep, but like but not even entertaining or like puzzling. It's just like, this is dumb. Like,
Yep.
It reminds me when I tried to watch the movie Frogs. First the pond, then the world.
Oh yeah.
Is that not the greatest tagline for a poster ever, for a movie ever? And the movie just sucked. Like,
That's
no
too bad.
good frogs, no camp. It's just like bad. Just bad all around. So anyway, things I'm looking forward to. There's like really no good movies in the theaters now, but I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Man in like 10 days or something like that. Can't wait to see it. Although I want to keep my expectations reasonable, because anytime you bring back old characters, it's like, it's usually not done well. And so far, a track record of all the third Spider-Mans aren't really good. Not to say Sam Raimi's third one is like the worst movie ever made.
I do want to talk about that eventually.
Yeah. Which is, I'm a Spider-Man 3 apologist, like in the sense that it's not the worst movie ever made. It is laughable and it's cringeworthy, but so I'm interested to see where they go with this one. Like, if they just bring back all these old characters, it might just be a hot jumbled mess. But I hope they can keep it light, keep it fun, keep it entertaining. So anyway, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. So everybody, this has been Futro Hidden Movie Gems. Leave us an email, futromovies@gmail.com. Check us out on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us. It's free. Unless you go to our Patreon, you can give us money. Leave us an email. Tell us a movie you'd like us to review in the future, or a movie that we reviewed in the past. Leave us a comment. Share with a friend. That's what we love about you. Take it easy, everybody. This has been Futro Hidden Movie Gems signing out.
Peace. Sheeps.
Are you positive? I don't know. You're not sure if you're positive? I don't know what positive means. It means you're sure. Yeah, I'm sure. He's like, I'm positive he did. Love it.